Now, as alleged cases of stalking and fixated behaviour continue to make headlines regarding public figures like Shirley Ballas and Emma Raducanu, today we hear from Debbie Waring, who had a chilling experience of her own.
Yeah, Debbie's next-door neighbour, someone she trusted, planted listening devices in her house to spy on her, leaving her feeling violated and, of course, unsafe. And she's here now to share her story. Debbie, thank you so much for coming in this morning. We're just watching a little bit of footage there, which essentially is how you caught him, sort of checking for the device. But let's go back, because that's almost the conclusion of your detective work that got to the end, rather than how this all started. What was your experience? How did you work out that something strange was happening?
Well, we'd been neighbours for 30 years, and then I met a new partner who lived in Nottingham, and I was living in Birmingham at the time. And I had 2 cats, so we used to alternate the weekends, and I'd ask William and his wife to feed the cats for me, which they agreed. I've never had any problems. They'd had keys for many, many years. The family had grown up. Their children played with my son. So it was like I trusted them. I went out shopping with Tracy at times. So your children had been friends as well? Yes, for 20-odd years, and they'd grown up together.
And you never, ever suspected that something was off. How would you describe William if you had to describe him?
Quiet, meek. It was difficult to get a conversation out of him at times. He'd sort of say hello and he's like a little bit quiet.
Shy.
Yeah, shy, yeah.
But I wonder if that was now because he knew that he had these devices and you planted in your house.
Don't know. No idea at all. No idea. We'd invite them around to parties. We had a bonfire party. They'd come round. Children would play together.
And you had so up until the point where you suddenly discovered there was this strange device in your living room, you had no suspicion, no expectation, no idea that any of this was going on?
No, nothing at all.
So you were blissfully ignorant?
Absolutely. And we don't know how long the devices had been there either.
Well, I was going to ask, what was the catalyst for you even thinking... Because that wouldn't automatically come into your head at all. Oh, someone's put listening devices in my... So what was the catalyst for that for you? What made you think, oh, there's something weird going on here?
We found the device under the coffee table. Well, my partner found it
Just by accident?
Just by accident. And we thought it was something off my grandson's toys.
Right.
It's a very, very small, probably about 3 inches by an inch, little device with an on-off button on it. And when we checked on the internet with what it was, we found out it was a listening device. So
and was there just that one?
No.
So once you found that and you realised this is somebody spying on me, did you then suddenly go into panic mode and start looking around the rest of the...
Massively, because initially I thought it was live recording, so they could listen live conversation.
Yeah.
But then when we checked, it was a recording device that recorded for 4 to 6 hours. So my partner said, if there's one, there's probably more. So we obviously had the pictures off the wall, had all the drawers out in the living room and the kitchen. And then he says, I think we need to check upstairs. And I went, oh, please, not upstairs. So we went upstairs and there's one behind the headboard as well.
Of your bed?
Of the bed.
How did you feel?
I was hysterical. I was absolutely hysterical. I just couldn't get my head around why somebody would want to do that at all. Initially, when I found the one downstairs, I said, I wonder if this is my son playing a bit of a joke. So I rang. I said, have you planted a listening device in my house? And he went, no, Mum, why would I do that? Why would I want to listen to your conversation?
And so when you found that, what did your brain do? Because you would go, oh, my goodness. So you went to your son, first of all, and thought maybe it's a bit of a joke or something like that.
For the one downstairs.
Yeah, but then where did your brain go to after that?
It had to be someone who got keys to my house. Because when I reported them to the police, because there was no sign of a break-in, they couldn't do anything for me. They said, there's no sign of a break-in. It's obviously somebody who's got access to your house. So the people who got access to the house was the neighbours and my son.
So it's your son and your neighbours. Your son's already said, Mum, it wasn't me. Why would I have done that? So then you immediately start thinking about your neighbours.
Neighbours, yeah. And even then, I just couldn't get my head around it, thinking, no, why would they? Why would they? So the next step for us then was to try and find out who it was. So this happened on I think it was the Saturday evening we found the device. And on the Sunday, my partner and I went to, it was like an electronic shop and bought a small recording camera. And it looked like a little robot.
Right.
So I placed it in my grandson's toy box, and we set that up. So it recorded, and I could get it on my phone as well.
So you can watch it on your phone, and then you told your neighbours, weren't you, that you were going away for the night?
That's right. I told them I was going away for the night, and I told them I was only going for the one night, because normally I'd do a long weekend at my partner's.
Yeah.
But I said, I'm only going up for one night. I'll be back early tomorrow morning, because I didn't want to give whoever it was a long opportunity to come in to get the devices, because they were stuck on with double-sided tape.
Right, and the tape had failed, which is why it dropped.
The tape had failed, and that's made us realise afterwards how many times it had been used. So we don't think it was just a one-off.
No.
Because the stickiness of the tape had gone.
So it had been used over and over again?
Over and over again. And then it got to the stage where it just fell off the coffee table.
So you set your camera up, Debbie. You can watch it live.
Yeah.
Were you watching live when you saw him come in?
No. So I could watch it live, and it's also recorded as well onto like a CD card.
Right.
Yeah.
So before I actually went up to my partner's on that Thursday evening, I'd had some new carpet upstairs. And when you vacuum new carpet...
Yeah, the pile's still strong, isn't it? Yeah.
So I vacuumed all the carpet.
A certain way
in the bedroom, the top of the stairs on the landing, and off I went. And then when I came back the following day, I'd been watching live and I couldn't see anything, so I thought I'm going to go through all the recording. And within 25 minutes of leaving the house, William had come into the house.
So what's this moment like then, Debbie, when you'll suddenly see your neighbour come in, checking for the device, and I assume panicking because it's not there?
Because it's not there. My initial device, it's busted. That's what I said, it's busted, I noticed. Rang my son, rang my partner, and told both of them who it was. My partner was obviously up in Nottingham, so he couldn't come down, but my son came round. So we said, I'm going to have to go and... Confront him. So we went round, and he opened the door, and we said, what are these? Don't know what you're talking about, they're not ours.
Just denied it?
Completely denied it. And I said, I've got footage of you in my house looking for these devices. No. And his wife said, maybe he was looking for the cats.
And so then what happened next? Did you take it to the police? What, could they do anything?
I took it to the police, but before I took them to the police, I actually connected them to a laptop. And when you connect them to a laptop, you can actually get the conversations off. And there was a conversation on there between William, his wife, and his granddaughter. So that was the proof that they belonged to them.
On the listening device?
Because there was always that question, well, even though he's actually in the house, how do you know that's what he's looking for? You know, those questions were asked. But the fact that we got conversations off them...
you could prove it was them?
Could prove it was them.
So he ended up being found guilty?
He did. He initially denied it. This happened in the November. He was arrested in the December. He went to normal court, I think, around about April time, but then it went to Crown Court in the May, and he was convicted for 15 weeks.
Did you ever understand, did he ever explain why he did it?
No, never found out why. I don't know whether he admitted to his wife. I don't know whether he admitted to the police. I still don't know to this day whether there were any more devices. Because I moved.
Yeah.
I just felt I couldn't live there any longer. I mean, I was probably going to move up to Nottingham anyway.
Sure.
But it just pushed me on. I felt uncomfortable in my house. I was always looking out my window if I wanted to go out. Are they outside? Or I can't go out yet. Yeah. I didn't like putting my washing outside.
It's unnerving,
because it's
isn't it?
Unnerving, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was the footprints either side of the bed as well.
Yeah.
That we got. It'd been upstairs in the bedroom.
Well, look, Debbie did an incredible job to track him down.
Yeah, well done.
That guilt.
Oh, hello. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.